Yeah, let's get out of here. We tried, bro. I'm sorry. We tried our best. Yeah, when this tree falls, it's over. I'm sorry, bro. Gotta get out of here. Oh, shit. Holy shit.
Zombie land. Look at this. Look at this, bro. Everything's burning to the ground, you guys. People left their car. They left everything behind. Newscaster out. Man. If this ain't crazy, then what's crazy, you guys? Oh my God, look at the grocery store. Look at this shit, you guys. What the fuck? Oh my God. The food market is burning down. Burns up, everything's gone. What? The elementary school! Man, you guys. Look at every house on this block burned down almost. Families are sitting here watching their house burn. Nothing you can do about it. It's sad. Sad, sad, sad. Such a nice city. Built everything that they had, that they built over all these years. God bless these families. Look, that once was a motel, I think. This used to be a car shop. Burned to the ground. Thank you for your service, Pop. You guys, these were a community back in the day. Look, check it out. Mar Vista Avenue. Mar Vista Avenue no longer lives. That house might have made it through it. That's the only thing. Oh, I hate that. What a look like.
This is Revelations 12:12. Therefore rejoice ye, heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. Kahala Yahweh B'Shem Yashai B'Shem Kodash, which are the true Hebrew names of the Most High Father, Yahweh, which is Hebrew for He is, and His only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai, which is Hebrew for He is salvation, He delivers. Double honors to my teachers, the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and mercy to the elect, with the house of David reborn again in this generation. And shalom to the 130 Yasharallah, who today are known as the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, who before losing our true heritage, we were known as, and still are, the true Hebrew Israelites of the Holy Bible. In today's lesson, we're going to talk about the fires that are hitting Babylon the Great here on the West Coast, in Hollywood, in the Palisades, and pretty much up in the San Gabriel Valley, which is where I live, or used to live, I should say, right? The Lord put it on my spirit, and I'm pretty much out here in the boondocks, far away from the city, like many of the other Akim are. Now, that being said, what we just watched was some of the more striking videos of the devastation that has come to Los Angeles. Now, when you've seen this, you know, we've all been primed with propaganda talking about it's fire season, right? In the middle of January, yeah, right. These devils have been basically laying little breadcrumbs to try to convince you that it's fire season and that this is natural. But you know what? There's a message that I'm going to let you listen to that comes from the elites, and we're going to start putting the pieces together so that we can see why these fires are happening.
Or epidemics. I mean, I don't know what it would be. But in one way or another, we are so far, globally, we are so far above the population and the consumption levels which can be supported by this planet that I know in one way or another it's going to come back down. So I don't hope to avoid that. I hope that it can occur in a civil way. The planet can support something like 1 billion people, maybe 2 billion, depending on how much liberty and how much material consumption you want to have. If you want more liberty and more consumption, you have to have fewer people. And conversely, you can have more people. I mean, we could even have 8 or 9 billion probably if we have a very strong dictatorship, which is smart. Unfortunately, you never have smart dictatorships. They're always stupid. But if you had a smart dictatorship and a low standard of living, you can have a, but we want to have freedom and we want to have a high sentence, so we're going to have 1 billion people. And we're now at 7, so we have to get back down. I hope that this can be slow, relatively slow, and that it can be done in a way which is relatively equal.
So as you just heard from this man who is Dennis Meadows, he basically wrote a report for an organization known as the Club of Rome, which pretty much explained why they needed to control the population growth on the earth. And it was founded by this devil here, this Edomite devil. And when I say Edomite, it refers to the so-called Caucasian and Israeli races of today that descend from the biblical Edomites, who descend from Esau, Jacob's wicked brother. Now, David Rockefeller here, he's simply part of the organization of the kings of Edom that rule the world. Now, he's now pushing up daisies, and he's gone, but his organizations and his beliefs and their agenda is still here, and it's basically being pushed. Right? This is what one of this guy's famous sayings says: all we need is a right major crisis, and the nations will accept the New World Order. And that's what the Club of Rome ultimately was. It was an organization that was created to start to bring the world together under this New World Order. Basically, Esau's or Edom's world empire where they control. Now, one of the more famous quotes that came out from the Club of Rome is this. It says, "In searching for a new enemy to unite us, we came up with the idea that pollution, the threat of global warming, water shortages, famine, and the like would fit the bill. All these dangers are caused by human intervention, and thus the real enemy then is humanity itself. Believe humanity requires a common motivation, namely a common adversary in order to realize world government. It does not matter if this common enemy is a real one or one invented for the purpose." And that's what we're seeing right now. We're seeing the results of these devils bringing forward their agenda to control the world. And what I'm going to show you now is some videos and evidence showing that this was all planned. But before we get into that, let's go ahead and watch this real quick.
In 2005, an arrangement between Canada, Mexico, and the United States was made. This arrangement, unannounced to the public, unregulated by Congress, merges the United States, Mexico, and Canada into one entity, erasing all borders. It's called the North American Union, and you might want to ask yourself why you've never heard of this. In fact, there is only one mainstream reporter who has actually heard of and has had the courage to cover this issue.
President Bush signed a formal agreement that will end the United States as we know it, and he took the step without approval from either the U.S. Congress or the people of the United States.
This isn't some trade agreement. It is a total removal of sovereignty from these countries, which will also result in a completely new currency called the Amero.
The Amero is the proposed new currency for the North American community, which is being developed right now between Canada, the U.S., and Mexico to make a borderless community, much like the EU, and the dollar, Canadian dollar, U.S. dollar, and the Mexican peso replaced by the Amero.
By default of this agreement, the American Constitution will eventually be obsolete. You would think that a situation like this would be on the cover of every major newspaper. That is until you realize that the people who are behind this movement are the same people behind the mainstream media, and you are not told what you're not supposed to know. The last thing the men behind the curtain want is a conscious, informed public capable of critical thinking. They seek to keep you in a distracted, naive bubble. And they are doing a damn good job of it.
This is 2 Ezra 16 and 21. Behold, vitriol shall be so good cheap upon earth, that they shall think themselves to be in a good case. And even then shall evils grow upon earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. And that's what we're living through right now. Though in very recent times, we have seen a massive inflation amongst the currency and a collapse of the beginning parts of the collapsing of our economy. But in general, things now in this current time are a lot cushier, I should say, a lot more comfortable than they have been throughout history. Okay, people can go out and go get food at restaurants, fast food places. They go to the supermarket and have stuff there. Where in times like in the 1800s, like it was when you had times like this, you had, like for example, or the early 1900s, you had the Great Depression. Right, where people were starving and lining up for bread lines. See, right now, humanity has basically been lulled into complacency and apathy. Everybody is too comfortable and doesn't want to rock the boat, per se, even though everything that they have is slowly starting to be taken away from them. Right? We just seen the Lord touch all these rich people, or should I say well-off people, over there in these areas. Now a lot of these people, like in Altadena and San Gabriel Valley, a lot of them can't even afford the houses that they once lived in, I should say, right? They basically had inherited those houses, or they had bought them back when they were very cheap, under 100,000. But the point being is that destroying those homes is the same agenda that was behind destroying the homes in Maui and around the world. Remember, California got hit a couple months ago down there in Orange County, right? And then also in the last previous years, it's become kind of a joke that California is always burning. Well, why is that? Well, because you see, these devils, they have an agenda to basically burn out people out in the rural areas that are harder to control. Check this out.
And welcome back. This is going to blow your mind. Once again, we are looking at Area 51. As these fires are going on in Southern California, they are laying something over Area 51. It's then being shot by the NEXRAD radar system. You can see that clear as day right here. It is then expanding and being dropped right over Southern California. And then take a look at what happens to Area 51. This is totally insane. This is not normal, and this is not birds or bugs. I can promise you that. There is something very odd going on with the military or something that's taking place in Area 51 and then being dropped in the sky, which is then carried over by the jet stream or some sort of wind pattern into Southern California. I talked talked about this yesterday when we predicted these wildfires based on a northwest anomaly that we saw, again from the NEXRAD radar system, which then led to insane wildfires in Ventura County. Now we are seeing more and more of this being dumped over Area 51 and then flows into Southern California. What is going on here? And then look at how the NEXRAD towers go absolutely berserk. There is no chance that this isn't related, my friends. This is now 2 days in a row we have captured this happening over Area 51 and flowing down into Southern California, exactly where these wildfires are. And I know a lot of people will give us a hard time for talking about this, but how can you not? This is not a coincidence whatsoever, and I'm going to continue digging into this to see exactly how long they continue this for. If you look close enough, you can find stuff like this every day on these satellite charts. Alright, so one final time, let's dissect this. Right here, we have it dropped over Area 51, a perfect lineup with where the base is, and just like yesterday, as soon as it's laid out, we have the zap coming from the radar, the same one coming from Nevada right here. Then we have the expansion as it moves into Southern California. Just like yesterday, those radars start going off and crazy, and that's when this disco party begins in Nevada. Check this out. This is just unbelievable to see happening and then have no one point this out. Just as the cloud is getting over Southern California where all the wildfires are, we start seeing the NEXRAD towers from different states crisscrossing right over Area 51. Those are where our scalar beams are happening, and this is just insane to watch. You can see that cloud dissipating over Southern California and the Baja. We'll backtrack. You can see it come back, and it originates right over Area 51, my friends. I appreciate each and every one of you. Please share this video. This one will get attacked for sure, but it's time each and every one of us stand our ground and show people what we believe in. I hope you're all...
So there you go. See, so they're dropping chemicals from the sky. Now check this out. Remember the fog that's been hitting all over the place these last week and the week before?
So today we're going to hit on the fires in California, and the sky's looking like this, and some weird things about it. So first we start with the unusual dryness. Well, that's because this cloud seeding program, which was augmenting rainfall, stopped. So California got really dry really quick. And before anybody says they wouldn't do it, here's 687 patents on augmenting the weather. And there was another reporter who talked about how the firefighters have no water at all. Isn't that kind of odd? The other weird one was, look at this fire. It's on one side, and it's on the other, but it's not on anything in between. The other odd part is all these cars blocking the roads. Everybody just got out, started running, which makes no sense, and blocked the roads. And then there's all these videos of the fire jumping from house to house, but not burning anything in between. Check this out. Lawsuits claim faulty PG&E smart meters started their house fire. Could this be the culprit? Then I was doing some more research on smart meter fires. Look at this. Just pops up. Tons of them. Interesting. So then I decided to look up what's in the smart meter, and check this. Lithium batteries, just like those Teslas which were left out on the street. And when they catch fire, the firefighters can't put them out. Isn't this kind of interesting? Then I decided to go way back to the San Francisco fires. Remember when the tops of the buildings only burned, but everything else remained? Check this. San Francisco Gaslight merges with PG&E. It's been going on for a long time, it seems.
This is Isaiah 29:15. Woe unto them that seek deep to hide their counsel from Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, and their works are in the dark, and they say, who seeth us, and who knoweth us? So, everything that is happening isn't just because Esau wants to burn people out of their mansions or destroy old communities that have been there for centuries. No. He has an agenda. And what is that agenda? Well, when you look at this Club of Rome map for their 10 zone regions for their New World Order, right, that brings together all these, different places, it basically lines up with what's going on right now in the world. Why do you think Trump is all of a sudden starting to talk about bringing in Canada as the 51st state? Why do you think Trudeau has stepped down all of a sudden? Why do you think Greenland, magically now is going to vote in April for a referendum for independence? Because it is all part of an agenda. And that agenda is to corral everybody into these 10 economic zones around the world, which are all controlled under one organization, that being Edomite World Empire, the New World Order, which these devils are trying to bring forward. And if you look at that map, look at this current map known as the Regional Groupings for the Sustainable Development Goals report that was released in 2019, 5 years ago. Look at United States, Canada, and Greenland. Okay, this is another reason why South America also, they're now talking about creating their own United Latin community. Okay, is because it's all part of the agenda. Okay, this isn't just randomly going to happen. This is another reason why, if you look over here, let me zoom in real quick. Notice this whole area here is all controlled by Israel in the middle. Okay, this is another reason why the UAE, Saudi Arabians, have been very cool with the Israelis, because they're going to be part of that central zone, right? And that being said, guess who is on the list for a smart city? Los Angeles. ITA publishes Smart LA 2028 Smart City Strategy. So see that? So LA, just like Maui and just like these other places that have been hit by natural disasters. For example, what was it in Florida? I think it was like Tallahassee or something like that got hit. It got basically hit by a hurricane, and there just happens to be a smart city in that location that needs to be built now, right? That they had planned before that. See, these devils are clearing the way to bring forward their new smart cities. Okay, and so again, this is all part of Esau's agenda. So though they may seem on the front that it's going to be for a good cause and it's for the greater good of humanity, right? And it's going to give all these benefits. When you really understand how these Edomites think and what they do, it's basically going to be global communism with crap food, poisons, and constant surveillance, right? Less freedom for us and more freedom for them. And that's because Esau, he can never have enough. And this is ultimately why we need the Lord. This is 2 Corinthians 2:11. Least Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. And all these things going on right now, right? Though they try to make it seem like it's homeless people starting the fires, or it's extra dry weather, windy winds, the Santa Ana winds. Ultimately, it's these Edomites. But the thing about that is that it's ultimately the Lord that's causing these Edomites to bring forward this chaos. Because the Lord is using them as a punishment for the world. And again, once they're done, once Satan has completed his task and brought forward his destruction that the Lord has set him up to bring, then it's his time. It's gonna be his time to drink of that cup of destruction. This is Ephesians 5:12. For it is a shame even to speak of those things which are done of them in secret. But all things that are reproved are made manifest by the light. For whatsoever doth make manifest is light. Wherefore he saith, Awake thou that sleepest, and arise from the dead, and Yahushai shall give thee light. See then that ye walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time, because the days are evil. Alright? And that's what we're living through, Akim. These devils, they have said go. Right? When 2025 hit, and that devil over there, the Vatican, they did that satanic ceremony, right? And all these rituals that these devils perform, they're going for it. They're going for their agenda, and they're bringing forward the chaos, the destruction, and they're making sure that they don't waste a minute. Okay, this is why we have to make sure to be on our P's and Q's when it comes to this truth. We have to make sure to watch out for our surroundings, try not to get involved in all these mass, society events. Try not to go out and be caught up in these large group gatherings, man, because these devils are going to bring forward lots of destruction. Look what happened over in Germany during their Christmas markets, man. These devils are looking to wipe out a lot of people. And what does the scripture say? Be careful, because your enemy, Satan, walketh around like a roaring lion, seeking who he shall devour. So again, this is why the Lord's bringing us these warnings, so we can make sure to stay safe in these evil days, right? So hopefully this video was edifying. Until next time, I want to give all honor, glory, and praises to Yahweh, B'Hashem Yahshai, B'Hashem Ruach HaKodesh. Shalom.